Waking Geek, week of March 27th, 2018. This is Lil.
And Chris.
And Scott.
I hear somebody with a cat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem.
That's all right. We've got our fourth. There you go. We've got Rob the cat.
It's the best host ever. It's Rob Puppet.
Yeah, there you go. The Rob Puppet is meowing. It's almost perfect, actually. You know, we do call Rob Grumpy Cat every now and then, so I guess it's fitting. So, how you doing this week, guys? I've been out of the loop, so hopefully you guys have some news to talk about. I've been in Kentucky toy hunting.
Nice.
Finding nothing.
Where were you?
I was in Kentucky, Louisville.
That's where Teresa. That's where my wife is now with family.
Oh wow! Yeah, I was in Louisville for the weekend. Hit a bunch of flea markets, and there's this really cool toy mall and this place called Elite Toys, and hit a bunch of comic book shops. I was looking for Holy Grail type toys and comics, and I got good deals, but I didn't get a Holy Grail piece. So a little disappointing, but the kids had fun. We had swimming and all that kind of stuff, so it was good.
Nice.
My brother's in Louisville. I may have to get down there sometime.
I'll definitely check out it's I think it's South Louisville Toy Mall, and the Elite Toys is right next door. This toy mall is ridiculous. It's like we don't have these kind of antique shops anymore around here, but it's like glass cases up and down like giant rows. Like imagine like a Walmart where the entire aisles are glass cases, and each glass case is like owned by somebody different, and like they have all their stuff, and it's like all crazy random stuff. So you're sitting there analyzing every 4-foot section you walk by,
right?
And it's insane. What you could find there. I bought a pretty pristine condition Battle Cat from the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe line.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I still have mine.
You do?
I might. It might still be at my parents' house.
You need to find that. Because I got rid of all my old toys when I was little. I again, even as a kid, I was one to flip toys. I held my own little yard sales, like in our back of our condominium complex. They'd have all my toys laid out, and I would sell them for money, and then go out buying more toys.
Wow.
Always that. Even 6-7-year-old.
I was never that enterprising. I would just play with my toys and until they broke. That's, I had every G.I. Joe and all that stuff imaginable, and I just would play with it hard and, do parachute off the roof, and it would eventually break, and then I'd get something new.
Yeah. I did that as well. I played hard with them. I buried my stuff. I had, but the thing is then when there's the new thing coming out, I remember selling my He-Man to then upgrade to Ninja Turtles. I remember selling the Ninja Turtles to then get sporting equipment,
Uh-huh.
This is what I did. And I still
That's
do
cool.
it now. So, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. I never had that foresight. My cousin saved every single toy that he got. Unfortunately, he's since passed, but he when we were moving my aunt out, there was toys in there that were just crazy. So
yeah,
and I never understood that. So
yeah, no. So he was like the movie The 40-Year-Old Virgin, right?
Right.
I remember first seeing that movie and my wife looking over at me and she's just like, "Look, now your people are famous." I was like, "Well, not a virgin, but thank you." No, but so I did that. The only thing I know that came out that I'm wondering how excited you guys are for it, but I thought it was pretty awesome. Was the Deadpool trailer?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I thought it was a lot of fun. I'm still worried about the whole kid thing, who that kid is, why this kid is a big deal in the story. It does seem like it's going to be Deadpool versus Cable for the majority of it.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know. I'm sure there's a big bad coming in somewhere, because they have to team up. I like the X-Force line. You know, I still... I'm looking forward to it. I love Deadpool. I love the character. First movie to me is fantastic, and I love Ryan Reynolds. I still have like this in the back of my head that this is just not going to be big or as big as the original.
It may not be, but it still may be good. I mean, you know, I think this is going to be a good test for the Marvel, you know, the MCU, or you know that role of stuff, because you know, I think Deadpool was very surprising how successful it was, and I think they said, yeah, we'll do it, and we'll hope we'll make our money back. You know, but even if they don't, it's still a different line. I think it's very refreshing. So even if it doesn't do what the first one did and still makes decent money, they should still go with it. But that's me. Well, it's not my money I'm spending.
And I agree with that, but I think going back to the original plan might be the best way that this movie works, because again, you're not sinking a ton of money. Like the first movie, $60 million budget, and it did well. And I don't know what this budget is, but you can tell it's already a lot more. Sure. You got a lot more people involved. You know, and when the merger happens and they have the characters to play with, I think it'll be easier for Deadpool to use a lot of the X-Men characters a lot more, because there won't be any of that worry. But I think, again, you get going with a lean approach on the movie rather than fattening it up, I think is always a better bet.
Yeah, probably. But that's not the Hollywood we know and love, so that's not the way they do it, unfortunately.
True.
I mean, they go for the kill, and I mean, it's, you know, just look at, you know, we're not going to get into that because we have to save something for a couple weeks at the Blue Box, but DC is all or nothing with these huge movies, and they're coming up short and looking like jerks, where, you know, if Marvel has a bad one, it's not the end of the world, which they haven't. Too many, and then they hit home runs.
But here's the thing: they mitigate they mitigate the lower cost ones. So it's like you look at like a movie like AntMan, and it made like $650 worldwide. Well, it was like a $110 million budget. That's what you expect,
right?
If you had $100 million, $150 million budget, and you're making $500 million worldwide, guess what? You made a profit. And you're good to go, and you're building on your story, and you're moving forward. The problem is when you're spending $300 million,
right?
You're looking to make $900 back to break even. And
sure.
You know, I know a lot of people don't know the math and blah blah blah. It's because there's marketing costs, there's investment costs, there's all this stuff for studios to make money. It's just because it costs $300 and makes $300 doesn't mean they broke even.
Right. Well, they don't get every dime that the sales come through.
Well, exactly. They get, internationally, you get 50% of every dollar of movie ticket sales, and domestically, I think it's like 30%. And I know Disney's working on squeezing that now from the theaters.
The first month is a lot more. The first 2 weeks is like 70 or 80, isn't it? It's something weird.
It depends on
the theaters get a lower percentage the first few weeks. And sometimes the studios will force like even 100, like the theaters have to give them 100% the first couple of weeks. Disney has done that for the last couple of Star Wars movies.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like they're squeezing out like that, and that's why you see certain movies staying in theaters longer, while certain movies just bow out because they want to devote screens to the movies that they're going to make the biggest kickback on. But Scott, like you said, Disney's been working on squeezing out some of these theater chains, and I mean, I know they own everything at this point, everything good that we love, but I can see theaters saying, you know what, then go somewhere else. You know, I mean, if I was AMC and some of these other theaters, I'd say, you know what, if you're going to play this game, we'll go to another studio, broker a better deal for cost for both of us, and blast their movies out.
Yeah, but AMC, we went there for the first time in a long time, and it was just painful. I mean, I got a bucket of popcorn and a bag of M&Ms or something, and it was like $17.
But that's the reason why, though. But all theaters are doing. All theaters have jacked up prices on tickets. We just haven't felt it yet, because it's been so incremental. We haven't been paying attention.
Well, we're always going to get hit here in Chicago because it's expensive to do stuff here. So, I mean, it's going to be higher, but there's other alternatives besides AMC. And I've loved AMC for a long time, but they seem like they were last to the comfortable chairs. They were, there are other alternatives. And, I'll pay for a movie on the first night, but I'm not paying, I think we paid $16 a ticket. What did we go see? I think we saw Game Night, which wasn't bad. Really, it wasn't that bad for as, formulatic as the movie was. But we paid $32 for tickets, and then I paid $17 for snacks. $50 for a movie? I can't do that.
For a movie of Game Night status.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not...
Exactly. I mean, I paid for Last Jedi. Buck. Yeah, I paid for Infinity War, but not happily. I hate to be like that. I mean,
Well, I'll pay happily for Infinity War. It'll be everything else that I will not be happy. I mean, I didn't see Pacific Rim. I did see Tomb Raider last week. Oh boy.
Was it not? The boys think it wasn't good.
No, we all gave it a low sidekick on the Leave Geeks podcast that I do as well. And thinking back, I mean, like it was just announced today that they're not doing a sequel. An Alicia Vikander will not be a part of that if they go back and reboot this. Which is to say, she wasn't bad. It's just the movie was bad. The movie the movie started off the first 40 minutes or so like it was a weird bicycle chase that because it didn't even start the plot of the movie. It was just like her living out in the town. No, it's not even that. It's just like her living by herself and being broke, and she's got to be a food delivery person. So you see this whole scene with her doing that. She's learning how to box or fight or kickbox or whatever you want to call it in a ring. So she's fighting and she gets beat. It's all these little things that happen that don't ever come back. And we get so much time with this, and it's just weird. They try to world build this, and it just didn't work. I mean, it wasn't like The Mummy bad, which I thought The Mummy was terrible. It's just it was blah. It's just another disappointing video game movie.
Yeah.
Have any of the Tomb Raider movies been good?
The first Jolie one, I think, wasn't terrible. I mean, it made a lot of money.
It was okay.
I don't know.
I got around to those.
It's been a long time since I've seen. 15 years since I've seen that one. I don't even remember when it came out.
All that I recall is that she had a horrible British accent, and it was just awful. But she, it was okay. The action was all right.
Yeah. Agreed. No, I agree with that. And I mean, it is what it is. I don't think they're... I mean, Ready Player One this week, I mean, I guess you can call it a video game movie, but it's not based on a video game. I mean, the book is a video game world.
Right.
So we'll see how that plays out. I mean, I'm excited for it.
Well, it's the setting. It's not the plot. The plot is not Duke Nukem or, whatever.
Which they're doing with John Cena.
Yeah, I know. Unbelievable. But But if they make it completely stupid, it might work.
No, it won't. Because didn't they try? What was it? What was the one The Rock did with Carl Urban? And is that Dune?
Doom? I think it was Doom.
Doom. Thank you.
Terrible. But that was stupid. And if you understood it was going to be stupid, it was okay.
But still terrible. No. I understood it was going to be stupid. Terrible.
The best part was the last 10 minutes where it actually went into kill mode
for the first person. Yeah,
the first person shooter, that was okay, but the rest was stupid. So I don't know. I think Ready Player One I think it looks pretty strong. It's gonna tug on, bring back some memories of the past and throw that in there, and then kind of have that Matrix kind of feel. I think could be pretty good.
For sure. I mean, I'm excited. I mean, I didn't finish the book, and I stopped because it was just so close to this. I don't want to compare them. I want to have a movie feel to it, and then I'll go back and read the book. It's something that like I learned after watching after doing like Harry Potter versus like Lord of the Rings, and we talked about Lord of the Rings last week. And like I started reading, I just couldn't finish it. But it's like I love those movies, and like I don't need a book to compare. And Harry Potter, like I didn't really care for the first movie when I first saw it, but it's after I read the third book that I fell in love with that world. But then reading the books and watching the movies, then I was like, oh, but they left this out. Oh, I wanted more Dobby or this or that. And it's just like I don't want to have that comparison always.
Sure.
Just like I look at these comic book movies, like people like always freak out. It's like, oh well, Captain America: Civil War, that really wasn't the Civil War comic series, and it's like, no, but it was good. Like it's different. They're using these things, the titles, and they're using some through lines, but you're never going to get what you saw on the paper. Like enjoy them separately. I think that's what I had to learn with Harry Potter, which I love the movies now and I love the books. So,
well, Harry Potter was pretty close. I mean, I think we've talked about it before. It is really, really hard to do a verbatim movie from a book because there just isn't enough time and there isn't enough. I hate to say space. There just isn't. So they have to compress and they have to eliminate some stuff.
Or money. I mean, could you imagine the cost?
I think they did that. I mean, I think I think Harry Potter was a great job of translating what was in the books to the screen.
They got the spirit right, and I think that was my big thing with it. Like, I think, and I know there'll be those people who are big Tolkien fans. I think they did the same thing with Lord of the Rings. I think Peter Jackson, not The Hobbit. We're not talking about The Hobbit.
No.
The Lord of the Rings trilogy got the spirit and the essence of everything right.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, The Hobbit, oh boy, that's a different story.
It was enjoyable, but it wasn't The Hobbit. But the problem with The Hobbit is it really... Is that you, Scott?
Scott, are you trying to talk? Because something happened to your mic.
You're very slow. I don't know what's up. Maybe your cat ate your internet connection.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't know what happened with Scott. He's sounded like he's demonic. He's demonic right now.
Demon Scott. It's Demon.
Now we have
Demon.
I was gonna say now we have a demonic Scott talking to us. I'm letting him know that something is wrong with his mic, but. It is what it is. So, where else were we getting to? We actually talked about some news in between that 20-minute rant. It was good.
Oh, we did.
We went all over the place.
I mean, I think there's some stuff good. Did you see the little article they had about Solo, about what happened?
No, I didn't. What was it about?
So they were talking about, and they did not name who the actor was, but it was an actor who was on the set, was saying that, what is it, Lord and Miller? I can't get the names. I can't pull it up.
Yeah.
So they felt like they were really good directors, but they didn't understand the magnitude of what it's like to do a Star Wars movie, and they were really second guessing their ability. So they said they were taking like 30 takes on like 2-word lines or 2-word cuts, and it was just very frustrating on set and led to a lot of just indecision. And so then they said, there was a couple weeks left. They made the decision to fire him. And then they brought in Ron Howard, who instantly took command of the set. And it was like night and day. So, I mean, I don't know what that means. I don't know how good it's going to be, what's going to happen. We talked about it last week. I'm looking forward to it. But there was some good, I guess it was some insight as to what happened and why they pulled the plug on those guys. And it probably doesn't mean that directors. Yeah. There you go, Scott. You're back.
Scott's back.
Yeah,
Demon Scott.
Now. And apparently Ron Howard reshot most of the film, but no rewrites or adding any scenes or anything. And you're talking about it. They were taking 30 takes per scene, and Ron Howard came in and was doing it in 2 or 3 takes.
He was doing the Happy Day style. Hey, let's go.
Yeah.
Well, he was being efficient. I mean, like,
Well, he's a pro.
Well, exactly, and that's something to say about directors that are efficient. I mean, you look at guys who've made a career, like Joe Johnston. I mean, I don't look at Joe Johnston's career and say like, man, he's made some fantastic movies. I mean, he's made some great movies. Right. He's been a part of, other fantastic movies, but he's that efficient type director that's going to come in and knock out a movie. These two guys, they were it just seemed like, I saw part of that article, like, I mean, if you take 30 takes for a line, something's wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You could maybe have 3 or 4 or 5 different views. I could see that coming from different angles, or maybe they collaborate on something. Let's try it like this. But I mean, 30 is like Stanley Kubrick crazy, just to get it perfect. And he was a great filmmaker, but he was nuts. But he had an idea what he wanted, and it was exact. Kind of like Tarantino. Tarantino knows exactly what he wants, and he will work at it until he gets it. But that might be 2 takes, or it might be 30. So not 30 every time.
Yeah, but that's Tarantino as well. And most of his movies are Tarantino movies. Like, you're doing a studio Star Wars movie.
Right.
You've got, things to hit. And I think that they just, we were just saying, like, with Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings, like, they were getting the essence. I don't think these guys, even though they were fans, got the essence.
Sure.
And I think that's some of the problem here. Some of the problem with, I mean, Last Jedi just came out on Blu-ray. Why people didn't like that?
I can see that, but it's not Luke and Leia and Han. We gotta get past that. People gotta get past it. It's not like that, even though that's been the standard for forever. Yep. Oops, sorry. I mean, I know I'm a huge fan. I've loved it my whole life. New Hope is not that great of a movie. It's got great characters and great setting. But as a movie, it's, I don't know.
It's got some parts that really meander.
Yeah.
And, and then it'll like drive along really fast and kind of slow down again. But,
You're talking about Last Jedi or New Hope?
Yeah, rewatching it, the first part in the desert really kind of drags at times. You just kind of let yourself get into the mood of it. But, it's certainly not nearly as tight as something like Empire.
No.
Well, it's because Empire was done by a real director. I mean, come on.
Well, they also had something at stake. I mean, by the time they got to Empire, there was a lot of money on the table from all angles. And, New Hope was like, hey, I have this idea, let's do it. And then, oh my God, we actually have something. And then, you get to Return of the Jedi, and it's a behemoth that nobody's ever seen before. So,
yeah.
No, I agree with that, but I mean, have I talked to you guys about this? Have we talked about this here? Like, I was not a fan of Star Wars as a kid. Like,
no, I would have killed you by now. No, I'm teasing. So,
growing up, I mean, I
we talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, I thought, I liked Empire. I thought New Hope was boring.
Yeah,
and I didn't care for the Ewoks in Return of the Jedi. Like, I remember, because I remember these movies coming out on like Channel 9.
Sure.
I lived in days, children, where there was no cable, and these two gentlemen lived in days even before that.
When there were 5 channels or 6, if you count Channel 44, right, Scott? So.
But yeah, I remember coming out on like Channel 9, and I'd play with my toys and stuff and just wait for Vader to pop up, and then okay, I'll watch some Vader, and then but that was it. Like, everything else to me was so boring.
Well, the thing is, like, in '77 when it came out, it was so different than anything else. I mean, it changed, in my opinion, it changed movie making, or the movies that I wanted to watch. And so then by the time you were old enough to watch that stuff, they were so far beyond New Hope. I mean, in terms of technology and graphics and all that stuff. And, people figured out, hey, we can make movies that are better. Not better, but, better is probably the term. And that make more sense that are going to appeal to you as a child. It was done. It's kind of like watching, French Connection. French Connection, when that movie came out, was fantastic. Now you watch it, you're kind of like, it's still a good movie, but it's not like as epic as it was back in the day.
Yeah.
It just makes it does make that difference, and that's understandable. Come on, I talk about that stuff, and the kids that work for me are like, "What are you talking about?" They have no idea. Stuff that I thought when I was their age.
They're like, Fast and the Furious is awesome, and you're like, what?
Yeah. Like two of them are, but the rest are kind of eh. Tokyo Drift. That's all I gotta say.
Dude, that Hulk car was awesome.
What?
When Bow Wow had his Incredible Hulk car, you can see the fist smashing on the sides. Oh, I love that car. I would drive that car. I wouldn't fit in the car, but I would drive it. You wouldn't fit
in the car, but you would drive it. Yeah, no, I know.
Take out that back seat, or take out the front seat and sit in the back and just stretch out.
That's good. Hey, what about the new Infinity Wars posters that came out?
With all the different like groupings and stuff. Yeah, I mean, this movie can't have me any more hyped than it already has. I am upset that I can't find the toys in the toy stores.
Right.
For the most part, it's really making me mad. But man, this movie's going to be crazy. Like I don't want to see anything else. Like, I already have my opinions on what might happen or what's going to happen, and I know I'm going to need a box of Kleenex, but I just don't want to see anything else. Don't show me any more groupings or posters or red herrings or whatever. I just want to. It's a month. It's a month from today.
Weeks.
I don't want to look at those posters now. Those are really nice.
Yeah, they're nice, but you notice they're all the colors of the
gems.
Infinity Stones, except the Soul Stone. Right? They don't have the Soul Stone in there.
Well, I think they do. Don't they? I mean,
well, no, they will. But they don't. What's it assume?
I think isn't that an assumed color? I mean, they have 5 groupings, right?
Right.
I can't remember the colors.
Isn't there 6 Infinity Stones?
No, it's 5. I think in the original comic there might have been 6, but I think they're doing 5 here because the gauntlet only has each knuckle and then, or is it 6? There's not one for the thumb.
I got yelled. There is one because I got yelled at by one of the kids that works for me today, Nathan. So, but I can't verify that because he was saying that there wasn't a poster for the Soul Stone. Because that's the one that they don't know where it is.
Which I'm assuming is Wakanda, but
Yeah, but you know what? You're like the 10th person that I've heard that from. So either it's a definite lock and it's that obvious, or it's with the Enlightened Ones. Is that who has Adam?
Yeah, but I don't think anything here is happening with Adam Warlock. I mean, there's no way that they're doing that right at this point. No way. I mean, I think the Adam Warlock story is coming
later.
Yeah, it's going to be different. I mean, I think it's. I don't know. I mean, at 2.5 hours, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, I think all of a sudden throwing Adam Warlock in here out of nowhere, where all you've done to the mainstream audience is show that gold casket thing.
Right. Yeah, they might not introduce him, but maybe that's the one that he can't have. So.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna get him with the full gauntlet in this movie at some point. I mean, I think that would be cool. I think it's almost it should happen. I don't know.
Right at the end, and then they'll go, "Hey, wait till next time." You'll be like, "Son of a."
Yeah, same bat time. Oh, sorry, wrong.
Yeah, that's
Lil?
Yeah.
Lil, you'll be pleased to know that we made a little progress on catching up on the MCU movies this past weekend.
You've seen Captain America: First Avenger?
No. Well, Teresa wasn't. She couldn't remember what the Iron Man movies were about, so Saturday we binged Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, and then we watched for the first time Thor. And that was really fun.
Yeah, the first Thor is really good.
Really good. I can't say. I can say good. Really good is Ragnarok. The worst movie in the MCU is Thor: The Dark World. But
I would agree on that.
Thor,
but they're good. No, the first Thor's pretty good. Come on.
It's good. It's just, you know what? It's a little cheesy, and I wish. I think because it was still early in the MCU life, like Kenneth Branagh didn't get to do everything, and he built a beautiful world in Thor, but then we spend more than half of it in this run-down New Mexico town with like 5 buildings. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it was a little of that, and like
And a naked Stellan Skarsgård, so.
Well, I mean, we all love the flying Skarsgårds. So I mean, especially because in the sequel, Stellan Skarsgård is in his underwear or naked running around.
Yes.
Yeah, so bad. But it'll be interesting in 2019 when this is all said and done, and you can kind of see that entire story to see if we still feel that some of these movies are as bad as we say they are now. Like, Dark World, maybe there is some connection with the ether. That is a stone. Maybe something will come back with that will make us be like, oh,
Right.
That. Because I do think when First Avenger came out, not as many people loved it as they do now with Captain America. I think because as Captain America has grown, that movie gets better itself because the character has done so much more. So I'd be curious. I really am, because we've never seen anything like this.
Right.
So
And nobody's had, 22? Is it 22 movies now?
Well,
Total?
I think no, it's not 22. Where are we at? I think 18 with Black Panther, 19 with Infinity War, 20 with Ant-Man and Wasp. Well, 20. So at the end of it, it'll be 22. Yeah, we're right now. Yeah,
Wow.
so
Yeah.
he's Captain Marvel, and we got a photo of her this week. In her flight suit on a jet, looking all Top Gun-ish. So
Yeah, just
Val
reading
Kilmer?
something about the Captain Marvel one that I guess kind of spoilery maybe. It says it takes place in the 90s.
yes, yeah, it takes
goes
place in the
back a little
90s. We're gonna get Nick Fury more than likely without his eye patch. We're gonna get Coulson announced today that Agent Coulson will be in the movie.
Oh, nice.
I'm excited
That's
to have
good.
Coulson back in the MCU.
Yes.
And but again, it's a prequel to Avengers, so we'll see how that works out. Yeah, I'm excited for Captain Marvel because I'm curious at how they're going to play the Skrulls. We know the Skrulls will be the villains in that, so I'm curious at their take and if that is going to have an impact for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Sure.
You know,
Who's directing?
Who is the? Oh, it's a team. I forgot their names. Why do you have to ask me questions that I'm not ready to answer?
I don't know, because you always have the answers for those.
I can't remember off the top of my head. I know it's going to kill me here. I'm trying to remember. I believe it's 2 people. I believe it's I don't think it's a husband and wife.
I called Rob's mom to look it up on the internet.
Oh, okay.
Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck.
Okay. Yes. And I think Anna Boden was one of the screenwriters as well.
Yeah. You gotta like the cast on these. I mean, they're just getting anybody they want.
Well,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
you get Jude Law. Wait a second here. So I'm looking at this cast, and because I just pulled it up as well, and Lee Pace is said to be in this movie as Ronan. So yeah. Ronan's back. We're getting a
That's awesome.
wow, and we know we get the Kree and the Skrulls here because Captain Marvel gets her power from Jude Law, who is Marvel. Wow, Lee Pace is back. I am so... Korath is back? Oh my god.
Was Lee Pace in the Lord of the Rings movies?
Yeah,
he was in the Hobbit movie.
No, he was in Lord of the Rings too. No, he was in Hobbit.
He was in Hobbit. He was Legolas's father.
He's a wood elf king. And he plays a tool better than anybody, so...
That's very true. Well, I don't know about better than everybody. we all do know Rob Southgate.
Yeah. Well, that's not an act. That's natural.
We love you, Rob. Maybe.
Possibly.
Depends.
It does depend.
So I guess any last minute news things, Scott? Anything from the gaming world that you want to bring up?
Well, if anybody's still playing Pokemon Go, they're finally adding some quest type things to it. How does this work? The Professor Willow is going to send you quests to go spend things, and you'll get stamps on a little card, and you can get things at that, which sounds kind of silly, but then apparently if you do enough of them, it will unlock Mew, one of the legendary characters that hasn't been in the game yet. So you kind of got to do something goofy to get a really cool character.
Are you still playing Pokemon Go?
A little bit every day. I get a spin and a catch every day because you get like a daily bonus if you do that. So at the very least, I get one spin and one catch.
You have to leave your house.
But what they've also been doing is every month they'll do a community day. And on a Sunday, like this previous Sunday, for 3 hours, they'll have a specific Pokemon that will just spawn everywhere. And you can get shiny versions. And then if you evolve one of the versions, you get a exclusive power move for it. So this last Sunday was Bulbasaur. And we got, 50 or 60 of them. And each, Teresa got like 3 or 4 shiny ones, and I got 2. So that was really neat. So they do that every month. But, there's still people playing.
Yeah, there's a gym right across the street from my house. And, what is it, how often can you get a big boss there?
You can do a spin every 5 minutes.
Yeah, but how often is there a big raid thing? How often does that come up?
At the gyms, those come up every couple hours every day, throughout the daylight hours.
Because there's, a zillion people all across the street from me all the time. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Hey, have you heard any news about the Harry Potter thing from Niantic or not?
Not for a while. Just that there would be something, and then I haven't heard anything. So, no.
Because I think that would be fun and probably get the kids back out again doing something with it. So
it might, yeah. Star Wars again. Going back to Star Wars, today is the release day for the Blu-ray and DVD and 4K, whatever, of The Last Jedi. So I went to Target at lunch to try to get the exclusive Target edition, which was to have a little book with behind-the-scenes stuff. And by lunchtime, they were already sold out. So I just got the 4K Ultra HD version, my first 4K disc.
Wow. Are you going to watch
it? I've got that here, and it's in a nice little slipcover and a black case, and supposed to have a lot of good deleted scenes and stuff on it.
So will you be pissed when they come out with the director's cut of the same thing? I'm teasing.
I don't think they want to get into that. I think they realize that the special editions have so much baggage to them. They don't want to go on. They'll put all the deleted scenes on here, but I don't think they want to get into the alternate cut thing.
They're not going to kiss it because Lucas was great at that. So
yeah.
Oh, he drained everyone's bank accounts because how many times have you rebought the original trilogy?
Don't look at my DVD collection because I've got the director's cut, I've got the updated cut, I've got like 4 of each of them, and even 2 each of the first 3, which I don't know why, but I did. So.
Yeah, I've got everything on DVD. I've got it all on Blu-ray again, and I've still got a couple of the VHS versions of the originals.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. And
I got box sets. I think I've got a box set of each, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, and then I've got like individual director cuts. It's the same with Lord of the Rings. I got each of the Lord of the Rings when they came out. I got the director's cuts when they came out, and then I got the box set when that came out. Call me an idiot. It's okay. Yeah, And now I can just pull them up on Netflix and I'm okay. So.
Well, I mean that's how our lives have changed. I'm with you. I mean I own At one point, my high point was 3,500 DVDs.
Oh my god!
I'm probably now down to like 2,500. Probably sold off about 1,000 movies. Things that, like I said, I know I'm never going to revisit again. I mean, I used to go to Tower Records and buy a movie almost, a couple movies a week. That's how it was.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean,
a little over 1,500.
The problem was like I started collecting VHSs, and then DVD came out, and now it's Blu-ray, and it's like, how many times are you going to rebuy this stuff? Like that's why this digital Netflix. That's why most people are turning to it, because it's like I have almost everything I want at my fingertips, and I don't need to keep buying the same edition over and over again.
Yeah, I've gotten away from buying like TV on DVD. I mean, the only stuff I'm keeping, like the Planet of the Apes TV series, the live action and the animated ones, I've got those on DVD because, it's not something that's, Netflix isn't going to go, really go and pay the money to run that or anything. And, so that kind of stuff. But something like The Office and even Star Trek, most Star Trek, we don't have the series on DVD anymore. It's on Netflix, it's on Hulu, and we just watch that there. I've got the movies because there's a lot of special features, but the series is fine on TV.
Yeah, but here's the question, because I used 3,500 DVDs strong at one point, and I used to watch special features. How many times do you revisit those special features?
Not a whole lot. I mean, there's some good ones, like behind the scene things that really get into that. If it's like a well-made movie on its own, then I could watch it a couple different times.
See, I've only and some of my favorite movies of all time. I'm talking like the Evil Dead movies and stuff like that. I've watched the special features a few times, but after that, outside of like something like that, like. I mean, I used to try to get Crichton. I mean, oh my god, how many times did I buy I think I have 4 different copies on DVD of A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, jeez.
The Infinifilm. It's just so many different versions, and then I look back and it's like, well, why? I don't. I watched this stuff once. They made actually a great documentary. I believe it's Never Sleep Again. I think that's what it's called. It's been a while, but I look at that and I just think it's such a waste. I have all these things, and it's like, how many times am I going to go back? Like the Bond films, like I need, they had all this stuff on them, and it's like, well, who cares? It's like I don't have the time in my life to watch this much stuff.
Yeah, I've really dropped off my buying a lot, and we've been letting some other stuff go. That we just it's either on streaming or we just kind of outgrew it, and and a lot of stuff. Early DVDs don't always look good on bigger screens on it. We've got like a 65-inch screen now.
I know.
And some of the older DVDs, like the original Austin Powers DVD,
trash.
We put that in a little while back, and it looked like a VHS.
Unwatchable. I know. I agree. And that's the reason why I started selling movies. Like the minute I put it on, and it like stretches out, and you can't get it to fit right or look good unless you shrink your screen down. I'm like, all right, forget it. I'm out.
Right.
Like I don't need to watch this again.
You spent thousands of dollars on a TV. You want to watch it in letterbox, not black bars on the side.
Yeah.
Well, I watched 4x3 stuff with the bars on the side, but. Yeah, I hate any kind of stretching. Just irritates me. I always watch anything either letterboxed or window boxed.
Another horrible DVD, Kill Bill. Watching it on unless you get the Blu-ray edition, the regular edition on DVD, terrible. Even on
I haven't watched that in a while.
I think it was like a 55-inch was one of my first big screens, and I put Kill Bill in, and I'm like Uma Thurman's nose was like a foot long. It was terrible. I mean, it was just. And I'm not saying that she's got a big nose. I'm just saying the stretching was that bad.
Send your hate email to a little.
Yes, because I'm sure there's a lot of Uma Thurman fans out there who are going to
listen to us. Absolutely, there's one here. I'm sure Rob is. So that's a great movie.
Kill Bill, fantastic movie.
Both of them, it's eternal, but oh my god, is it great!
And one more bit on Star Trek. Some Discovery news. They are working on season 2, and I guess it'll be more of a kind of a tonal shift that goes into a more exploratory phase and a more diplomatic phase. So getting away from that backdrop of war, which was always one of my criticisms, is that I felt like they should have started with some Planet of the Week episodes, and then have the Klingon War rear up. And that be the plot. It's like they just threw us in, and we didn't really get a feel for the characters, except at war. And with all the other changes on there, like the look of the uniforms and the look of the ship, which this mentions also that, they are insistent that this is in the prime timeline. This is happening, 10, 15 years before Kirk and Spock. And they're going to make it all fit together. So we still got that coming up, which I'm looking forward to. I wasn't enjoying Discovery at first. I was watching out of duty, but as the season went on, it just got so much better.
Watch it angrily. So is it supposed to be the TOS, that line, or is it supposed to branch into J.J. Abrams' line?
No, it's supposed to be in the original timeline.
Okay.
So with Shatner?
So TOS and then Next Gen and that route. So.
Yeah, it's then. It's like, the original series started in, the year 2266, and this was in 2255. And it's supposed to bump up against that. So.
Hey, did they bring Pike in to Discovery?
Sorta.
Sorta.
Have you watched any of it?
I have not. I don't have that, so I didn't watch it.
Oh, well, neither do we, but we watched it. And come on.
There's other means, Chris.
I understand that. I'm not that inventive. I can barely watch Doctor Who and The Walking Dead. So, in fact, I forgot that The Walking Dead was back on. I feel bad. I just haven't made it. Well, I haven't made it a priority, and I love. My wife hates the way that this season's gone. I love it, and I don't know. We're caught up now, but it took me a while. So.
All right.
That's bad to say. Oh, just here's two things. Cobra Kai. What the blank is that?
I haven't watched it, so I don't know.
You haven't watched it? Oh my gosh. It's like it's Karate Kid, but for old people, I guess, isn't it? Is that what it's going to be?
Well, I mean, it's I guess in a way. I mean, I know Steve, who co-hosts the League Geeks with me, he kind of made it like it was kind of like a reversal of roles here. Like, we're getting this now through Johnny's point of view.
Right.
He's been through a lot since losing to Daniel. And I don't know. I mean, there was always a funny. Have you guys ever watched How I Met Your Mother?
Yes.
Like, I love. Did you remember seeing Johnny on those? Like toward the end of the.
Yeah.
Like, I loved Neil Patrick Harris's character's take on the movies. Like that Johnny was the real hero. Like, this guy, it's hilarious. And like, but there are people out there that probably believe that. Sure. There are always these crazy fan theories. There's some crazy TV show fan theories we'll have to talk about one day coming up that I remember like reading about that. I was just like, people have way too much time on their hands. But it's interesting. Is it something that I'm going to watch? No. Is it something that I'll check out down the road because I don't want to? I'm not paying YouTube Red. Maybe. Right. Yeah, I'll find other means to watch it to see if it's anything worth my time, but it's not like anything I'm going to seek out.
This has Rocky V written on it, kind of like, the hero redeems the bad guy, I don't know. I just saw it and I was like, "Are you shitting me?" So, I mean, I'm like, really? The World Poker Tour didn't work out well enough for him that he has to do this movie? Come on.
Yes. Well, it's a TV series, not a movie, but yes.
Well, you know what I mean. The pulling out the acting
for
so.
YouTube. That's the thing.
Well, I mean, they're all spending money for content. So, I mean, who would have thought that Netflix or Hulu would have had the store that got the people that they get and do the shows that they've done?
I
if you would have told me that 5 years ago, you would have been like, nah, there's no chance. And then you're like, holy cow, it's must-see TV and stuff. And then, you know what I saw, and I'm intrigued, but I think it's going to be a train wreck. They're going to do a sequel to Edge of Tomorrow. I guess the script is being written. I don't know what they're going to write about it, but I love that movie. I thought it was fantastic. So
that was that Tom Cruise one where he's like repeating a day or something.
Yeah, it was like Groundhog's Day, but way better. So without Ned Ryerson, that's a Rob and I inside joke. But I mean, with him and Emily Blunt, I just loved it. As corny as it was fantastic. You got Bill Paxton and all those guys just being tools the whole time. It's great.
Nice.
Yeah. So. I don't know if you liked it or not. I thought it was intriguing.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's it for tonight. I think put out a good show. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Chris, Scott, you guys want to tell them where everybody can find you? How about Scott? You start first.
I'm on Twitter and Tumblr as Scotty Smurf.
Chris?
I can be found at www.theblueboxcafe.com or Blue Box Cafe or Blue Box Cafe 176 on social media.
Awesome. And you can find me, Lil, at the League of Geeks podcast on Facebook at the League of Geeks, on Instagram at the League of Geeks Lil, and on Twitter at LOGEEKZ. So I think that's it for This Week in Geek. Thanks for listening. Good night.
Good night.
Okay.